You're listening to a Roddenberry podcast.
Today is Wednesday, March 10th, 2021, and this is your daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. On today's show, Star Trek's William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd are behaving badly in a new clip from the upcoming film Senior Moment. Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard snag a total of 7 Saturn Award nominations for science fiction, and I'm taking you back in time for a bit of Star Trek history. I'm Alison Pitt, and today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month of counseling at betterhelp.com/DSTN. First up, 2 Star Trek superstars have teamed up for a film about old men behaving badly, and lucky for you, there's a trailer for it and everything. Senior Moment is an upcoming film starring William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd from director Giorgio Serafini. In the film, Shatner stars as Victor, a retired NASA test pilot who defines himself by speeding around Palm Springs in his vintage convertible. He does that with his friend Sal, played by Lloyd, but when Victor gets his car impounded by police, he's got to find a new way to live. It's a far cry from Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, when Shatner and Lloyd starred together, but in opposition. Also starring in the film is veteran actor Jean Smart, who you'll recognize from her recurring roles in 24, Fargo, and Watchmen, and her early role as Charlene in Designing Women. She plays Caroline, Victor's love interest and polar opposite. Smart, like Lloyd, has also shared the screen with Shatner before. She was a recurring character on Shatner's short-lived sitcom, My Dad Says. The Hollywood Reporter last week shared an exclusive clip of Shatner and Lloyd going for a bit of street racing. And if you're more for the softer side of the story, People.com also shared a clip a couple weeks back, more focused on Victor and Caroline's romance. Senior Moment is due to be released in theaters and on demand from March 26th. Next up, the Saturn Awards are given each year by the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films to recognize outstanding achievement across the genre in film and television. Star Trek is set to make a splash at the 46th Annual Saturn Awards with an impressive 7 nominations across 6 categories. The announcement came to us by way of Deadline. First up is the nomination for Best Science Fiction Television Series. Both Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard have been nominated in this category. Both shows are up against some heavy hitters, the likes of Doctor Who, Pandora, Raised by Wolves, Lost in Space, and Westworld. Sir Patrick Stewart has been nominated for Best Actor on a Television Series for Star Trek Picard. He's been nominated for 5 previous Saturn Awards, winning 2 of them. Stewart is up against Henry Cavill from The Witcher, Mike Colter from the CBS series Evil, Grant Gustin from The Flash, Sam Heughan for Outlander, Jonathan Majors for Lovecraft Country, and Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul. Sonequa Martin-Green has been nominated for Best Actress in a Television Series, alongside Catriona Balfe from Outlander, Melissa Benoist from Supergirl, Regina King from Watchmen, Tandy Newton of Westworld, Candice Patton from The Flash, and Rhea Seehorn for Better Call Saul. Now, in the category of Best Supporting Actor on a Television Series, Star Trek Discovery's Doug Jones is up against Jonathan Banks and Tony Dalton from Better Call Saul, again, Michael Emerson from Evil, Richard Rankin from Outlander, Norman Reedus of The Walking Dead, and Luke Wilson for Stargirl. But wait, there's more. Star Trek Picard's Issa Briones is nominated for Best Performance by a Younger Actor on a Television Series. Her competition is Freya Allen of The Witcher, Breck Basinger from Stargirl, Maxwell Jenkins from Lost in Space, Madison Lintz of Bosch, Cassidy McClincy from The Walking Dead, and Erin Moriarty from The Boys. And finally, fan favorite Jerry Ryan has been nominated for Best Guest Starring Performance on Television for reprising her role as Seven of Nine on Star Trek Picard. She's facing some stiff competition, as Ryan has been nominated alongside her Star Trek Voyager co-star Kate Mulgrew, who was nominated for her work on the Audience Network series Mr. Mercedes. Also nominated in the category are Billy Porter for The Twilight Zone, The Walking Dead's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, John Cryer for Supergirl, Giancarlo Esposito for Disney Plus's The Mandalorian, and sci-fi legend Mark Hamill for What We Do in the Shadows. To see the full list of nominations for the 2021 Saturn Awards, visit deadline.com. The date for the award ceremony has not yet been announced. Now, in just a moment, I'll be taking you back in time to find out what happened this week in Star Trek history. But first, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online counseling service that aims to get you the help you need in a way that suits you. If there's something standing in the way between you and a more happy life, then maybe BetterHelp can help. When you sign up for BetterHelp, they ask you about you, and they use that information to find a licensed professional therapist tailored to your needs. Depression, sleep issues, and anxiety are just some of the areas they specialize in, but they also have counselors who can help coach you through family conflicts, self-esteem issues, or even LGBT matters. Whatever it is you need, you can start living a happier life today. And as a daily Star Trek news listener, you can get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp by visiting betterhelp.com/DSTN. And that's help, H-E-L-P. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health by visiting betterhelp.com/DSTN. That's H-E-L-P, betterhelp.com/DSTN. And a big thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's show. And now, let's take a look back into Star Trek history. It was today, March 10th, back in 1937, that animator and visual effects artist Robert Abel was born. Abel is best known to Star Trek fans as the original VFX director on Star Trek: The Motion Picture. His treatment of the film fell so far behind schedule and over budget that he and his company were replaced in that role by Douglas Trumbull. The dramatic changeover notoriously took place in March of 1979, less than 9 months before the film was due to be released. Accepting the problems with Star Trek, Abel was known as a pioneer in the field of computer animation, and his company, Robert Abel and Associates, is credited on films such as The Andromeda Strain and Tron, as well as the music video for the Jacksons, Can You Feel It?, which, by the way, is just an insane 9.5-minute ride. Now, I'll put the links in the show notes for both the Jacksons video and the 1982 Abel and Associates demo reel. Oh yeah. And you should tune in again next Wednesday for more Star Trek history. Well, that's it for today's daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Don't forget to check out the other great shows on the network at podcasts.roddenberry.com. Daily Star Trek News is produced by me, Alison Pitt, with selected stories by Chris Peterson. Today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month of counseling at betterhelp.com/DSTN. Finally, please make sure that you're signed up for the Daily Star Trek newsletter at dailystartreknews.com/contact. Get all the day's Star Trek news delivered straight to your inbox every weekday morning. I'm back tomorrow with more of the Star Trek news you need to know and the weekend's Star Trek events. I'm Alison Pitt. Live long and prosper.
This is a Roddenberry podcast. For more great podcasts, visit podcast.roddenberry.com.